Hello, hello. We are back for another episode of Launch Coast Football. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Chelsea, and
And
I'm feeling slightly better. Sound a little better today.
yeah, we are both back and a, a lot healthier than what we were on Tuesday. It was it was a challenge this past weekend and earlier this week.
Yes, it's been a challenge for me for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah,
Glad
good
I'm
point.
finally almost over it. It's
And
been
it's
terrible.
the only thing that wasn't a challenge was the Monday Night Football game when Pittsburgh officially ended the tour
True.
era. They officially might have ended the tour era in Miami, which
Oh, they didn't might end it. They ended it.
well, that's what you get when you can't play football in under 40-degree weather. Um,
In his defense, isn't he like from Hawaii? Or is it Southern California? I think know his heritage, I think, is
he's
Pacific Islander, but I don't know if he's from Hawaii necessarily.
well, you play out there, then go to. I think he's a Hawaiian, but don't quote. Oh, American Samoa, but don't quote me.
Gotcha.
But yeah, do that and go to Alabama. You're not exactly playing in then Alabama to Miami. You're not exactly playing in the frozen tundra weather.
So you're
But
saying you don't think he'd be good on the Bills?
I'm saying that he was in the worst division, seeing that he has to play the Bills, the Jets, and New England Patriots. At
How
least
this division is configured is still beyond me. How did Miami end up in this
they
division?
really should be. How is the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East?
Right. They're literally in the second biggest state in America in the middle of the country.
There's always been like stuff like how the NFL really should be organized in terms of divisions. I've
Or
seen
like the
that.
AFC South. Why is Jacksonville in the AFC South? Or why is everyone but Jacksonville in the AFC South? Indiana's not in the South.
Well,
Put the Bucks, the Jags, and Miami all in the same division.
honestly, I'm thinking
That'd be
just
crazy.
it's oh my.
They
Speaking
would just never travel outside
This
Florida,
honestly,
ever.
what this has to be an episode during the off season of actually fixing how like the geographic locations of every division in football because
Yeah, I mean, if you think
it's
about the
crazy.
Colts, like why the Colts, the Bengals, the Bears, and the Lions are not all in a division doesn't make sense to me.
Why is there not just a California division with the 49ers, the Rams? I was going to say the Oakland Raiders, but I guess Las Vegas can technically don't. But yeah, there should be.
I know it just
Anyway,
doesn't it doesn't make sense. Anyway, beside the point is that Tua would not survive in Buffalo is the point we're trying to make.
and
Poor
besides,
Tua. Honestly, I feel bad for him. Bro almost medically retired and then he gets benched. It's tough, dude.
it was all downhill after this. I in my fancy group chat, I just had like one, two Dolphins fan and a bunch of Jets fans, so they were just like going back and forth, and like it was all downhill after the 70-20 game against the Broncos for both teams. The Broncos went up at the Broncos looked in the mirror like someone who's just been just like I had to change my life. This can't keep going on, and completely changed their team. And Miami looked in the mirror and said, "Yeah, I look good." It was just
Yeah, I look good.
ignoring all the problems coming this way. Like the Dolphins was just literally the second like Scarface right before it just went downhill.
But were the Dolphins fans upset that yours was given the job over Zach Wilson? That's what I need to know.
As someone who's not talked to one Dolphin fan, I'll say no because they saw Zach Wilson and they said, you know what, yours he can't be worse.
That's fair. He really can't be.
But all that said, we're actually getting good football this week, and good football surprisingly on Thursday night. We're going to talk about the three games we both want to talk about, the three games that are most on our mind. And the first one is tonight's game. This is not gonna say this is for the NFC West because both these teams, like who knows what happens in the next two games this season, but
And the Niners exist
yeah, and San Fran's always you haven't killed
somehow. I don't
you,
know how, but they
it's
exist.
Monty Python, I'm still not dead. You got the Rams at Seattle. The Rams already won earlier this year, won a couple weeks ago in a 21-19 game. They're now traveling to Seattle. Devontae Adams at this point, he's not playing. At least they said he's doubtful to play. So that's you immediately lose one of your top two weapons in the league. Um, Puka, he got banged up. Puka, I feel like he gets banged up every week, and then he just comes back and he's fine. So he got banged up, and he still had like over 106, like 60 yards receiving. So he's fine, I guess. But no, Seattle and the Rams. This is going to be interesting. Just like can Sam Darnold on a in a big moment on I guess not technically not national television, but there's only one game on. This is
It
your
may
moment.
as well be national television.
This is your moment to shine. This is for potentially the division and potentially a first round bye in the playoffs. It's your time, Sam Darnold. Can you not see ghosts this week?
Yep, that's pretty much what it comes down to. I mean, both of the teams have amazing defenses. Both of the teams have really good weapons on offense. And you already know Matthew Stafford is good because he's in the running for the MVP if he's not leading the running. So yeah, really this game comes down to Sam Darnold.
I
There's
see.
really no other way around it.
Jesse, what's the rule? What's my rule? You have two even
The
teams?
rule is you got two even teams, you picking the better quarterback, and I'm gonna have to side with you in this game. I'm not choosing against Matthew Stafford, even against that defense that is arguably best in the league, except maybe behind Houston.
It's just, I do think that losing Adams is, of course, is going to be a big thing, but I think
Yeah.
Stafford is a type of quarterback that he can make a lot of players look good. The Rams have enough weapons, and McVay is enough of a great offensive mind that they can at least try to just moneyball their way to create a new Devontae Adams, or like two receivers and a fullback or something.
Tell you what, I'd rather see a high scoring game than a 21-19 though. I want to see Sam Darnold and Matthew Stafford duking it out on national TV.
Oh, that'd be,
I want to see Jackson Smith and Jigba go for 267 yards and three touchdowns,
and then you
mostly
want,
because my husband has him.
I need Kyron Williams for my money sleeper league to have a massive game. I need him. Kyron, please don't let Crum take your carries. Don't let him take your touchdowns. Tell
Yeah.
tell
Corum's good though,
McVay.
low key. I mean, he's not bad. He's been what, at least 8 or 10 points the past couple of weeks in fantasy and standard scoring, so he's coming on.
I need him to be bad this week. I need him to fumble the first time he gets the ball and be put on the bench and just let Williams
Be like,
score.
Blake, just like sprain your big toe and then be fine the next day,
No,
but be unable to play in the game.
no injuries. Just fumble once or twice. Just fumble once or twice. That'll be fine. But
A
to
fumble will
go
suffice.
to go from the highs of the highs to I guess not the lows of the lows, but the lows of the highs. We got the division that no one wants to win, the Buccaneers and Panthers. I just like I okay. We are North Carolina. We are happy that the Panthers look good. We are happy that Bryce Young. I'm not gonna say
Is a quarterback.
I'm not gonna say he won his job for the future, but
He has potential.
he's gonna be the quarterback for the Panthers next year.
Hmm. More likely than not.
It's just so frustrating watching these teams play because I'm like, it's like seeing guy one of these teams beat the Rams, and one of these teams is constantly in the playoffs, making noise in the playoffs, and they both look terrible the past week. What? I'm not even gonna say 2 weeks, because one of these teams beat the Rams like a few weeks ago. But like the
Yeah.
past 10 days, they're just like, why are you on the field? Why are you even playing football? But there's gonna have to be a winner. Someone's gonna have to win. Someone's gonna have to host a playoff game where they're probably get stomped out by the second place team. They're probably gonna get stomped out by Seattle the
The
Rams.
49ers, yeah. I don't know, man. Panthers really blew their chance last week against the Saints. I don't think they blow it again. I think the Panthers take this game. It's at Carolina. Bryce Young knows he needs to rebound. It'll be very interesting to watch JC Horn on Mike Evans. I'm looking forward to watching that. That'll be really good.
Yeah, that sounds a good matchup.
Yeah. But I'm gonna take the Panthers. Maybe their tight end will go off for 160 yards and three touchdowns, like another tight end did last week on my bench in fantasy. It's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Panthers. I don't think it's gonna be like runaway necessarily. It'll probably be close, but I think the Panthers get it done against the Bucks this week.
I will say this. You say the Panthers kind of blew a game. The Buccaneers definitely blew their game last Thursday
True.
night. It was like you let Kirk Cousins look like he turned back the clock 7 years. It was ridiculous. And Kyle Pitts
Bro
had
looked really good actually.
and Kyle Pitts, I think they say he had like 9% of the fantasy points he scored his entire football career was in that one game. And he's been in the league for like 4 or 5 years at this point. So that's just
Isn't that
ridiculous.
crazy?
That's so I think the extra few days of rest and planning helps. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but these are two even teams. And if
Are
you
they
get,
though? I feel like the Panthers defense is better.
you really think these teams, there's like that big of a difference between these? I say,
I mean, probably not, but I do think that the defense the Panthers have, it at bare minimum, has at least outperformed expectations. They have Derek Brown and JC Horn. Those are like the only big name players on their defense. And somehow their defense isn't absolute trash. It's great coaching. half the people on the field I don't even know, which is saying something.
No, that's fair. I give you that. The Buccaneers defense definitely have not looked very. They have not looked that well the past few weeks.
I mean, they gave
But
up 3 touchdowns to Kyle Pitts. So, I mean, it's,
but I will say still, excuse me. These are two teams that I really look at as like essentially they have the same record. They're essentially even
yeah,
teams.
that's true.
And if you have to tell me, do you trust Baker Mayfield or Baker Mayfield with essentially all of his receiving weapons back now
That's true.
versus a Bryce Young with granted, I still think the Panthers offense definitely is on par with them. I just still think that Baker is still a better quarterback. If you like, I
I
trust
agree.
Baker more than Bryce. So I would take Tampa with the upset at this point. Um, whether it happens, but whatever happens, like I said this is taking off the division. They have one more game to play, but
Yeah.
this is a massive game for both these teams. And the
It's
same
kind
can
of
be,
crazy if you think about it, though. Just one more note. Just kind of crazy if you think about it, because you would think the Bucks would have a much more prolific offense, right? I mean, you have Emeka Egbuka, you have Chris Godwin, you have Mike Evans. I know they've had injury issues, but the fact that we're even saying that the offenses are about on par is kind of crazy if you look at the offenses on paper. I mean, they had Bucky Irving, who of course was also hurt. So
yeah.
obviously they've dealt with a lot of injuries. But I mean, the Panthers have Ted McMillan, Xavier Legette, and Jalen Coker, which don't get me wrong, I really don't think that's a bad receiving core outside of Legette. He's eh. But I mean, you stack those receivers up against Egbuka, Godwin, and Mike Evans, and I feel like there's an obvious winner on paper. So the fact that they're about equal in real life tells you how bad of a season the Bucks have had.
As in last week's Bucks teams, at least offensively, it's more to what you're going to see when you get your
Yeah.
players back. And I think the Panthers, their winning game, like Rico Dotto came out. I'm not gonna say he had a good time in Dallas, but he came out of nowhere this year. And Chuba Hubbard's always going to be back there as a solid number two running back. So the Panthers,
Yeah.
offensively, I trust the Panthers. Is the biggest question is which Bryce am I getting?
hmm
And
And Breaker's still playing hurt, so I mean, it's not like he's
yeah,
100% either.
no, that's true. That's true. So this is going to be a fun game. This is going to be a good game, and that's a
It's
game
going to be
for.
a stress watch for Panthers fans.
Oh, I expect the group chat to blow up.
hmm
But that goes to, I guess, another stress watch for my brother-in-law, who's a Ravens fan. He has to now host the New England Patriots coming off a tough loss. That
Tough, dude.
that
Tough.
they went from we're gonna be winning the AFC East again and potentially not and fighting for the number one seed to now we have to try to we desperately need to win this. Both these teams definitely need to win this game. The
They need the
Patriots,
Colts to lose, is what they need.
well, I like Phillip Rivers, and I hope he keeps playing well. But the Colts are playing San Francisco, so that's gonna be tough. I'll just say
But we're
that
wearing our Indiana Knights jerseys.
that will make the difference. Good point.
Yeah, I just want to point that out.
But
Yeah, no,
Baltimore,
big game for Baltimore, though.
I just it's one of those things. Both these teams are battling for. Well, the Patriots are more battling for the division, while the Ravens are battling just to stay in the playoff contention. Right now, they're just like I'm not gonna say they're floundering, but the last three games of the seasons are the Patriots, Packers, and Steelers. So then they're
Holy cow, dude.
they're going to the Lions
That's
Den.
worse than ours.
They're going to the Lions Den right now. So this is gonna be this is an interesting game just because one of these teams is angry and coming off a heartbreaking 21 loss where they had a 21 nothing lead at home.
Which was just so great as an aside.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun to watch, and then it was just fun to be just Josh Allen just be Josh Allen. That was nice to see. And one of these teams in the Ravens is just they're battling. They're still in it. They beat down Joe Burrow and the Bengals this past week, so they certainly don't have any problem going against a high power offense or an elite level quarterback. Yeah, this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be. This is. I hope the Patriots win, but I can't really say this is more of like a pick 'em. I can't even say the best quarter. Who's the best quarterback? Because who's the best quarterback at this point between Drake May and Lamar Jackson?
I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I'm pulling for the Ravens. I want the Patriots to lose every game they ever play ever. That's probably just my Colts bias, though. So, I mean, I understand if you feel the same way about the Ravens because, Steelers fan. So,
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
yep. So I feel you. Um, I would be surprised if the Patriots lost a second game in a row.
Mm.
After last week, I think that. Mike Vrabel is going to be very angry. I think everyone is going to be very angry. The whole game, very angry. I think that the Ravens are improving, but they're going to have to really score on offense to keep up, I think. And it's not to say that they can't, because they definitely can, but if they get in a hole and they can't use, Derrick Henry to the fullest extent, they're probably not winning this game. So I'm gonna go with the Patriots, though my heart is rooting for the Ravens.
Well, go back to my fantasy team. I hope Derrick Henry doesn't do well because my opponent also has Derrick Henry. My opponent really has all like the best players. I'm like, oh man, and I think
So
it's
you're
C
saying there's a
I had
chance.
to get CJ Stroud from free agency because my quarterback was Patrick Mahomes. So,
Oof.
so yeah, this is for me personal bias. I hope this is a very low scoring game. I hope the Patriots win because that's more security for the Steelers. And but I do expect this to be just a run heavy game. If James Cook showed us anything last Sunday, is that you can run an elite running back can run on this Patriots defense, and
True.
you have essentially two elite runners of the football, and Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. So if the Ravens are smart, they would probably keep the ball on the ground, just try to pound the rock until and just break the Patriots, leave Drake May stewing on the sidelines and stuff. But so again, this is a pick 'em. This is a toss. This is a pick 'em game. But I'll say this: if this game is a high scoring game, I'm giving the edge to the Patriots. If it's a more lower scoring game, I'll give the edge to Baltimore.
Yeah, because they're dependent on the run game. That makes sense.
And that leads us to our second AFC North matchup between my black and gold Pittsburgh Steelers coming off a great Monday night win versus the Detroit Lions coming off a tough loss against the Rams. And one of these teams is trying to hold on to the division for dear life, and one of these teams is trying to hold on to any semblance of playoff hope for dear life. And I'm scared. Say something,
Daniel, I'm not even gonna lie to you.
say something
I, d-
nice.
I do not expect you to win this game, like at
Um,
all. If you win, I will be shocked. There is no way that DK Metcalf and an aging Aaron Rodgers are outscoring that Lions offense. I'm sorry.
yeah, and they're gonna have a
Especially if TJ Watt is still out. I haven't seen any updates about his lung issue. But if he's still out, that just makes it even worse. I will be shocked if the Steelers win this game.
the
I'm not
fact
even gonna lie.
the fact you said lung issue kind of tells you he's probably not going to be playing if he still has a lung
Yeah.
issue.
They're kind of essential to, breathing.
The life.
Um, but yeah, no, I mean, I will be shocked if the Steelers win this game. Even if the Lions don't make the playoffs, which at this rate is not an unfeasible thing to talk about because they've just lost a lot of close games because their defense has just been hurt. Brian Branch is out now and they've just underperformed. If this game turns into a shootout and there's no defense, the Steelers are not winning this
And
game.
they don't have a chance because
They're not stopping Gibbs. They're not stopping Amon Ra. I
and
mean,
that's the scary part is Gibbs is one of those guys that one week he's going to have a terrible game, the next week he's going to be look like Barry
last week
Sanders.
was his terrible
Yeah, last
week, so
week
he'll be good again this
yeah,
week.
this week he's about to drop a six touchdown Gale Sayers performance
Probably. Yeah.
in Detroit. And I think if Pittsburgh showed you anything in the past few weeks, like Pittsburgh's quote unquote high scoring, high octane offense
LOL. I'm
was
sorry.
was 28 points. It was 28 points.
I'm sorry, my friend. High scoring is a stretch, I feel.
No, that's what I say. Like their quote unquote their big time high scoring offensive performance on Monday night, which people were saying, it was 28 points. The Lions can score 28 points and a half. Um,
The Colts scored 28 in the first 8 games,
yeah, that's just I know.
and until we fell apart, but
Yeah.
those first 8 games, man,
We always have the eight.
I know.
But no, it's
Yeah,
just
dude, this game, if I was a Steelers fan, bro, I'd be scared. I'm not even gonna lie.
like I am a Steelers fan. I am scared.
It's
This
fair.
the only hope I have, honestly, if golf just goes because golf has somewhat of the Sam Darnold in him, which he'll just like sometimes he looks terrible like a couple of times a year he's just gonna look awful.
That's true.
And that happens, and Dan Campbell just makes some very dumb coaching decisions.
4th and 24, we're
Go
going.
and I want he
We're
was
laughing because we know that it is not out of the realm of impossibility.
so I need that and that. maybe Rodgers has throws back to 5 years ago and just plays like he used to
Like
play.
Philip.
Yeah, exactly. Do that. Like do that. Just like have a throwback game. You've beaten the Lions before. You've beaten the Lions for your entire career. So just beat the Lions
How
one time.
hard can it be? Come on, Aaron.
Yeah. This game's gonna be over by halftime, isn't it? Okay.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Well, hopefully the Patriots will win then. Uh, another game that's going to be, at the very least, it's going to be a fun watch, would be the Packers at the Bears. The Packers are coming off a week where they lost arguably the best player, Micah Parsons, and one of their best pass catchers in Christian Watson for. I'm not sure if Watson's out for the game. I know he had to leave the game. I'm not sure if he's
I haven't
especially.
seen any updates on him. I know that Parsons is out for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think I've seen an update on Watson, but I know he got hurt. So at minimum, he's not playing 100% if he's playing in this game.
And the Bears,
The
well,
Bears. Comedic timing.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, the Chicago team, that's good. It's upsetting because I think I had them in terms of team I had winning the NFC. I think the Packers were right under the Rams in my opinion because of Parsons and what he added to that team. It's gonna be interesting seeing their first week without him. They're traveling to Chicago. I still don't trust Chicago, but I definitely don't trust a depleted Packers team, even with Jordan Love, Toyota Don. So
I will say the Packers did win the first game. It's very hard to win both in a season series.
no, that's true. That's true. But yeah,
I'm taking the Bears.
I might take Chicago as well. I'm just saying Chicago. I might take Chicago as well, just because I still think losing. Basically, you build your entire season after this Micah trade, and he overwhelmingly outperformed expectations for you. I think the gut shot of losing him and then immediately playing your rival for potentially the division, because they're both right now. I think Green Bay is in division lead at this point, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
So I think the shot of it, plus you're traveling to Chicago, the shot would just be too much. I think the Bears win this. I'm going to draw a score of 21-20, 27-24.
Yeah, something like that. It'll be a very NFC North score. Like Thanksgiving. It'll be like 17-13. Like we watched the Bears and the Packers and the Cowboys and the Lions duke it out on Thanksgiving for 20 years in the most boring Thanksgiving games of all time when the score every year was like 17-13.
Oh,
That's like such an NFC North score.
I was technically wrong. The Bears technically have the division lead
Oh, do they?
because of the tie, because the Packers tied against the Cowboys.
Um,
So it's 10-4 to 9-4-1.
Yikes. I mean,
So
I know the Cowboys aren't in the North. You get what I'm saying. All the NFC East and the NFC North always have the most boring Thanksgiving games ever. That's the score that this game will be.
well, it's boring just because it's usually the Lions losing. Like the 12
Well, at
o'clock.
least when the Lions got blown out, it was entertaining because there was a lot of scoring.
Well, they say they got blown out. It's just the defense got blown out.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
but
And they
the
had,
Packers control the game.
they had Calvin, so you have him, you're never out of it. But
And then yet, wow, my throat's starting to go crazy.
yeah, no, the Lions, yeah, that was a tough Thanksgiving watch. Bears Packers will be good though. I know a couple of Packers fans that are going through it right now with the loss of Micah Parsons.
I can only
They
imagine.
just yeah, that would be like you guys losing TJ Watt. I mean, that's
It happened.
it would be like me not losing a pass rusher because our pass rush is terrible outside of Latu Latu.
Yeah, Chelsea, you don't know.
Literally, that's literally all we have.
Yeah,
And when
Chelsea.
Buckner comes back, we'll have Buckner. But outside of that, that's all we have. I'm not even exaggerating. It is bad.
Oh, Chelsea, what do you know about losing a big free agent acquisition or trade acquisition late in the season? What do you know?
Or what would I know about losing a franchise player before the season starts? Not anything. Wouldn't know
Nothing.
about that. No, no.
Excuse me, I have to go cry. No.
Excuse me as I go cry in the corner.
Well, the last game, and let's stay in the AFC South. The last game which I want to
Ugh.
talk about is Your least favorite team, the Jags, are traveling to Denver. In their defense, they're traveling to Denver, so that's good for you. The Jags are probably gonna lose against the
I
Broncos.
don't know. If Trevor puts up a week like he had last week, they might stand a chance.
He's not putting up a week like he had last week against that
I
Denver
mean, I don't
defense.
think he is either, but if he did, they'd probably have a fair shot of winning.
It's Trevor.
Jacoby Myers has done wonders for that man, bro.
I didn't think that was gonna be that big of a trade acquisition until like you've seen the difference of him on the
Because
team.
he can catch. He
Just
can actually catch the ball. He's the only one.
you're telling me a receiver's being able to catch is a big deal.
Holy cow. Man, you Brian Thomas and man, it's just whew.
No,
Yeah,
but
no, I don't have Jacksonville winning this game though. That's a tough play at the Broncos. But if there were a week that Jacksonville would scorn me before they crush our playoff hopes for good in the last game of the season, it would be this game.
it would be against
So,
Denver, the best team in
yeah.
the AFC potentially.
Yeah.
But at this point, who would you because Pat Surtain had a big interception against Green Bay last week. He was guarding Christian Watson before Watson went out. Who would you have Pat Surtain guarding? Will you have him shadowing Myers or even though Brian Thomas Jr., even though people have been criticizing him, he's still a weapon. He's still
I don't know, man. I'd probably put him on Myers. I mean, if you look at like the target share and stuff, since he's come to Jacksonville, Trevor loves him. He's like his favorite target.
mm,
I feel like you could put two average to slightly above average guys on Brian Thomas to shadow him, and it probably be okay. But that man loves Jacoby Myers. That dude has done wonders for Trevor. Honestly, half the reason that Trevor, just over the course of his career, is not as good as people thought he was going to be is because his offenses have been inept. And that always seems like such an excuse, right? People always say that. They're like, oh, his offense is bad. That's why he's bad. But with like you watch enough Jacksonville games, like that's actually true. No one watches Jacksonville games except fans and AFC South fans that are hate watching. Like no one in the country watches them. They're never on national TV. No one watches them. But if you actually watch them, it's pretty bad. Outside of ETN, I mean, before they had Myers, it was tough, dude. I mean, Brenton Strange was good there for a bit, but man, the half of the interceptions that Trevor has is because it bounces off people's
that's
hands.
something I know because I watched Trevor because I had Lawrence last year for I had him as my I did like I had like oh this is gonna be his breakout year. I think I had him winning the MVP because I said this is the year he's gonna break out and have an amazing year with Brian Thomas Jr. And I watched him and I was like, first of all, the first I said two things. First of all, give the ball to ETN. Why are they having like a two back system, a three back system?
The
This
whole
is
Tank Bigsby thing was stupid.
it was just like this is the best running back. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And second of all, I just said, wow, like he has a lot of drops on his offense. Jacksonville drops the ball a lot, and then I watched him more this year. Like, yeah, they be dropping that football.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not to say that that's obviously all of Trevor's struggles. I mean,
No, no,
half of his fumbles are his fault, but his O-line is also not great. Like, bro gets like a second and a half of blocking from his blind side, and he's trying to run away and he fumbles. So I would say probably at least a third of his turnovers are not his fault. Now, the games where he does turn the ball over that are
it's
his
bad.
fault, they're bad. Like he's either like amazing or terrible. But man, Jacoby Myers, he that's probably like the man's bestie now. I mean, he's done wonders for him.
I guess he's gonna be in those commercials of Travis Hunter now.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
tough loss for the offense, but honestly, I mean, he hadn't
he had a breakout game.
done
Yeah, he had one
that
breakout game.
much.
I think
Outside of a couple of games, he hadn't done that much, at least on offense.
I think he was just trying to ease his way into it. The whole two offense defense thing. He was probably easing his way into it. That's why
Yeah,
I wanted to see him more like throughout the entire season. Is of course you get injured, not much you can do about it. But I thought it could work. I still think it can work because he didn't look overwhelmed on either side of the football.
yeah,
They weren't making him like a shut. He wasn't asking me like a shutdown corner on defense. They were asking him more of a
yeah.
nickel stuff. So he was probably like the number three or number four corner.
That's true.
I I still think Denver. I that defense though, that defense with Denver's insane. I
It
just
is pretty good.
you say Houston's probably Houston or Seattle. I think Denver easily has to. If I had to pick one defensively,
Really, though? I mean, did Denver get 8 sacks against Josh Allen?
Denver. I think Denver has like the most sacks in football right now. Is
But did they have 8 sacks against Josh Allen?
specifically against Josh Allen. No,
Hmm. I don't know. I feel like that's hard to dispute. You never see that ever.
no.
And it
But
pains me to think that Houston has the best defense in football. I don't like them. I don't want to think this. But man, 8 sacks against Josh Allen is a crazy stat.
well, maybe they'll have 8 sacks again. Oh, you get now. Denver's gonna have 10 sacks against Trevor. If he has 10 sacks, Trevor Lawrence needs to start yelling at some offensive linemen.
If Trevor Lawrence gets sacked 10 times, he needs to request a trade mid-game. Um, yeah, no, I still have the Broncos winning this, though. I still don't fully trust Bo Nix, but man, last week it was put a big step towards me fully trusting him. That was an impressive performance last week. Um, I actually still have Houston taking the division, the
Hmm.
South, just because I trust their offense more than the Jags offense. Though it wouldn't shock me if Jacksonville won it at this point, but I think I'm still going to take Houston to win the division. But man, this tough game for Jacksonville. If Jacksonville goes in and beats the Broncos
In Mile
at Mile
High,
High, I will be very impressed.
it would
And
be.
I will be fortifying my mental health when we play them in week 18 to lose.
You'll be just giving Philip Rivers the fountain of youth for to go back set like
Bro,
10.
and the worst part about it is that my husband is a Clemson fan, so he loves Trevor Lawrence, loves him, wants to watch the Jacksonville games, loves Travis Etienne, played at Clemson, loves him. My parents, a year or two ago, got him a Trevor Lawrence Jacksonville Jaguars jersey against my will. The audacity, honestly, is just insane.
I like
And this
against
past
my
week,
will.
I know. And this past week, he was like, "Should I put it on?" Because, Trevor threw 6 touchdowns. I'm like, no. And
Oh,
I'll tell you what, when he unwrapped that present at my parents' house, my parents were so happy. They were laughing so hard. I was sitting on the couch going, "You cannot be serious right now. At least get him a Clemson one, a Jacksonville one in this house. Are you serious?"
I thought about doing stuff like that for my brother who's a Jets fan, and I said, "What? Like, what if I gave you a Tom Brady jersey?" Like, he was like, "Daniel, you're wasting your money. I'll just toss it in the trash can." That's fair.
That's
I
fair.
was like, yeah. I was like, I can't do joke gifts like that because it's like, now you're just wasting money. I'm literally going to burn this in front of you and just not
Be
feel
like, I
anything.
will throw this away and never miss it ever a day in my life.
Like, I feel no sympathy.
They probably wouldn't, honestly.
No, but hopefully I won't. Oh, how dare I don't have any sympathy transition. Please, my fantasy team just do well. I have Travis and ETN and just give them the football. No more Tank Bisbee, two back, three back systems.
Yeah,
Just
it's Tootin now. Tootin is his backup and
I
behind
need him to
ETN.
fumble. I need him to fumble a few times.
Him and Corum both need a fumble. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got knocked out of the fantasy playoffs last week.
Uh,
Sadly, even though
so
I dropped 80 plus points, still got knocked out, unfortunately. So I'll be pulling for Conlon this week. Let's go. Who's he have? He has Jonathan Taylor, Jameer Gibbs, and Javonte Williams. Crazy. I know.
yeah. So well, me and him have that in common. We both have Williams. So in my
Hmm.
league, so
Apparently he's going to play. I know he got injured on Sunday, but apparently he is
I
supposed
did
to
not.
play.
I did not know that. So thank you for the extra level of stress. And
Yes, he
until
did get
then,
hurt.
until then, next time on Launch Codes Football, you go. I see a very happy or upset Daniel. Chelsea, tell us where
I,
you find
I'll
us.
I'll probably just be indifferent as a Colts fan. We play the Niners. Honestly, if we win, that's great. I still don't expect us to make the playoffs. Jacksonville will still manage to break our hearts anyway, so it's like it's whatever. Um, Check us out on our social media. Our next episode will be out on Tuesday, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, follow us on our socials on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Launch Codes Football, on Twitter or X at Launch Codes FB. And we do have a chat BCC group. If you're interested in joining that to talk all things football, hit us up on one of our socials in the DMs. We can get you the link. I'm Chelsea,
I'm Daniel.
and we will see you on Tuesday. Go Colts, I guess. Yay, Unk.
Go Pittsburgh and happy holidays, everyone.
Merry Christmas.